Super Saiyan God. The form created when 5 righteous Saiyans pull their ki into the 6th Saiyan. This form changed the series forever, as we are used to Super Saiyan, Super Saiyan 2, and Super Saiyan 3. Super Saiyan God, however, is a step above Saiyan ancestry, and gives power to the user that allows them to seemingly fight on par with a God. The form seemingly had one last evolution, Super Saiyan Blue. Goku and Vegeta gained this form after training on Beerus' planet, and is a transformation that is achieved when a Saiyan who can use the power of a god transforms into a Super Saiyan. But which form is stronger, red or blue? In order to find out, we need to analyze each form, discussing its individual strengths and weaknesses, and only then will we answer the question of which form is superior, as well as why it's not close. Let's start off with Super Saiyan Blue's predecessor, Super Saiyan God. This form made its first debut in DBZ Battle of Gods, where the god of destruction Beerus was told of a prophecy that his greatest fight was destined to be with the Super Saiyan God. However, none of the Saiyans on Earth knew how to achieve this form. After brainstorming for a while, they decided to ask Shenron, who told them there was a ritual involving 6 Saiyans who were righteous or pure of heart. They decided that Goku should be the one to gain the power, and the ritual started, ending off in a success, as Goku achieved a form that was not only different visually from the different forms, but also far different in power. Super Saiyan God allowed Goku to tap into what is known as God Ki. There is a huge difference between Ki and God Ki, which I'll explain. Ki is a form of energy that flows through every living being, no matter what size or age. Everyone in the world of Dragon Ball has Ki flowing through them, a bit like the Force flows through everyone in Star Wars, but only those who are Force sensitive can tap into its true power. This energy can then be drawn out of the body and manipulated for various things like flight, energy blasts, etc. However, in order to do that level of Ki control, it must previously be established, which is why many Earthlings outside of the main Z fighters are unable to use Ki. Ki is a concept which includes 3 main components: Genki, vigor; Yuki, courage; Shoki, mind. A great way of visualizing Ki is by using a cup of water, the cup in question representing the body and the water representing Ki. Now, through training, you can increase the Ki in your body or increase the water in the cup. On the other hand, by absorbing energy through different sources, you can either replenish the body or store more than needed, which causes the Ki to overflow, or in cup water terms, causing it to spill. A good example of this is the legendary Super Saiyan form that Broly takes on, which causes his body to swell up like a balloon, except instead of helium, it's filled with Ki. However, as strong as a fighter may be, there is a limit to everything, and Ki is no different. If we take the same analogy as before, with the cup and water, the body can grow through training, but the more you train, the harder it is for a body to grow. After some time, you start experiencing diminishing returns, and you can barely make any progress. This is also known as a plateau effect. All of this has never been explicitly noted as such, but was talked about in the series, most prominently by Whis, which is where God Ki comes in. God Ki was introduced in the Battle of Gods arc, alongside Super Saiyan God, considered to be a special type of Ki used by godly beings, but most importantly, something superior to regular Ki. This form of Ki is unnoticeable to other mortal beings, as they cannot sense it. The only way to sense God Ki is to either attain Super Saiyan God or be a god yourself, or just gain God Ki. As the revival of F saga starts, Goku and Vegeta are training under Whis and learning how to control their newfound power. Bringing back the cup of water analogy, instead of trying to raise the water in the cup, they're trying to manipulate it. The cup, of course, being the body and the water being the God Ki flowing through them. How? By learning to control Ki and thereby preventing it from leaking, basically making it denser, so that God Ki automatically means more power to the user, as more Ki can be stored inside the same space. It also means that simply having God Ki doesn't give the user insurmountable advantage over regular Ki users. Hence, certain characters like Frieza and Jiren are able to compete and even overpower characters utilizing God Ki, simply by having incredible amounts of regular Ki. What's interesting about Super Saiyan God though, is that, like the previous Super Saiyan, it had different grades ranging from grade 1 to mastered Super Saiyan. Super Saiyan God also seems to have that. This may be a bit confusing for viewers new to Dragon Ball, but simply think of it like this. Super Saiyan, the form with golden hair, had different versions before the form was ultimately mastered and completed by its successor, Super Saiyan 2. This will be explained in a future video, so be sure to look out for that. However, back to the topic at hand. The first version of Super Saiyan God, or Grade 1, seems to have a unique self-healing ability, We see this in the anime version of Goku vs Beerus, where Beerus decides to end their fight prematurely by stabbing Goku through the stomach. As Goku falls back down, strangely enough, his wound begins to heal, and he gets back into the fight as if nothing happened. Strangely, this healing ability is never showcased again in any of Goku's other forms, which means one of two things. Toriyama may have forgot this ability, and it wouldn't be surprising as he admits he forgets a lot of things in his story. Or, the healing ability is only exclusive to Super Saiyan God. It would either be the former or latter, but there's no need to dwell on it. Another exclusive trait about the first grade of Super Saiyan God is that it seemingly has a time limit. One possibility is that the power of the gods is taking a toll on Goku, and this wouldn't be the first time. We see this when Goku uses Ultra Instinct in the Terminator of Power. Each time he uses it, the strain of such a power that even the gods can't attain practically ruins his body. Now, in order to explain the next few grades, we need to dive into the manga. We see Goku's usage of a different variation of Super Saiyan God, or Grade 2, against Hit in the Universe 6 vs Universe 7 tournament arc. Visually, there isn't really a difference between the time that Goku used Super Saiyan God against Beerus till now, but in terms of power, it's definitely a different story. Goku had far more time to control and understand this form, so much so that Goku in Super Saiyan God is far stronger than Vegeta in Super Saiyan Blue in the manga. This is because Goku's able to tap into his full potential more easily now that he's learned to control this form. We see another grade of Super Saiyan God in the manga once again. Vegeta and Goku Black are facing off. The entire time he's in Super Saiyan God, which Goku Black mocks as using a lesser form. However, every time Vegeta moves in to hit Goku Black, he quickly switches to Super Saiyan Blue. This is to make up for one of Super Saiyan Blue's drawbacks, which will be explained later on. Goku also employs this technique in the anime against Dispo, while this fighting alongside Hit. He defends with Super Saiyan God, but when he sees an opening, he quickly switches to Super Saiyan Blue. And last but not least, by Dragon Ball Super, Broly, Goku and Vegeta have tapped into Super Saiyan God Grade 4, or to put it simply, they have mastered Super Saiyan God. They both show unique abilities with this transformation, with Goku becoming so good at manipulating his ki, he uses it in attacks involving telekinesis or paralysis. However, Vegeta uses Super Saiyan God more offensively, as his aura alone assists him in his fight against Broly. Now for the pros and cons of this form. The pros being that the power of Super Saiyan God alone is a step above any of the previous Super Saiyan forms. It also doesn't seem to have any sort of stamina issues, like Super Saiyan 3 does for example. The only drawback, however, is that to fully tap into the form's power, it seems to take time. As shown in Battle of Gods, when Goku wasn't used to the form, and despite getting stronger, he wasn't doing any better against Beerus. Later on, however, he was surprising Beerus with every attack and technique he unveiled. A weakness of the form was also the time limit that we saw in Battle of Gods, but as Goku and Vegeta trained more and more, they seem to have got rid of this drawback. Now with that being said, just how strong is Super Saiyan God? Most Dragon Ball fans are familiar with power levels and multipliers. Power levels being how strong an opponent is, like Goku being over 9,000! Though really, he was at a power level of 8,000. The 9,000 stated by Vegeta is a translation. Super Saiyan is times 50. Super Saiyan 2 is times 100, and Super Saiyan 3 is times 400. But what about Super Saiyan God? How strong is it? Does it have a multiplier? Officially, there is no multiplier for Super Saiyan God. However, we can use scaling to figure out a lowball for the form's power. So as we previously stated, SSJ has a multiplier of 50. SSJ 3 is a multiplier of 400. We then see Goku and Vegeta fuse into Vegito, where it's stated in Daizenshu 2 that Vegito in base has a multiplier greater than that of Super Saiyan 3. So Super Saiyan 3's 400 times multiplier would transfer over to Vegito. Vegito can then stack his power with Super Saiyan, giving him a times 50 multiplier on top of his base power. Goku himself stated that even if him and Vegeta fused, it still wouldn't be a match for Beerus. 400 times 50 is 20,000, which means that Super Saiyan God at a lowball multiplier should be 20,000 times. Keep in mind that this is a lowball, and Super Saiyan God is far likely more of a multiplier. That, and we're only considering that Vegito, who used Super Saiyan, it's most likely he could have tapped into Super Saiyan 2 or Super Saiyan 3, which would make the number even higher. With all that being said, how does Super Saiyan God compare to Super Saiyan Blue? Super Saiyan Blue, the evolution to Super Saiyan God. Simply put, Super Saiyan Blue is what happens when the Saiyan with the power of a Super Saiyan God goes Super Saiyan. The form's aura and look is far more different than Super Saiyan God, hence the name Blue. The user's hair goes blue, as well as their aura. They also retain their muscle mass, unlike in Super Saiyan God, where they get slightly thin. This form is quite simply the peak of divinity, where there's one major issue. Super Saiyan God doesn't have stamina issues, but Super Saiyan Blue does. The drawback with Super Saiyan Blue is that it chips away at your stamina far faster than the other forms. Surprisingly, Goku and eventually Vegeta were able to bypass this drawback, at least in the manga, whereas it is implied in the anime as well. There is an upgraded version of Super Saiyan Blue in the manga. During the Goku Black arc, when Goku is fighting against Fusamasu, the only visual difference with perfected Super Saiyan Blue is that the aura is gone, and of course the power difference is that perfected Super Saiyan Blue is stronger than regular Super Saiyan Blue. Goku is able to tap into the form's raw power at its best without getting fatigued as easily. And now, just how powerful is Super Saiyan Blue? Does it have a multiplier? Well, although there doesn't seem to be an official multiplier, most fans agree that Super Saiyan Blue is simply 50 times stronger than Super Saiyan God. This makes sense as Super Saiyan Blue is literally just Super Saiyan God going Super Saiyan, and the Super Saiyan multiplier is 50 times. Now, Super Saiyan God and Super Saiyan Blue, which is stronger? Well, since there is differences in the anime and manga, we'll cover both. In the anime, it's much more clear cut. Super Saiyan Blue is the successor to Super Saiyan God and stronger. In the manga, it's still the same, except Super Saiyan God is a bit more fleshed out, having different variations with unique abilities. Those unique abilities just can't contend with the raw power of Super Saiyan Blue, however. Though both forms have their pros and cons. Super Saiyan Blue's strongest asset is its power, but the downside is its stamina issues. Whether or not this is still an issue for Goku and Vegeta is debatable, but based on how they've mastered Super Saiyan God in the anime, it's likely they've done the same for Super Saiyan Blue. The manga just outright confirms this with Goku going perfected Super Saiyan Blue. Super Saiyan God, while it's weaker than Super Saiyan Blue, doesn't have the same stamina issues. So in conclusion, Blue beats Red.